Welcome back to my YouTube channel Crochet Art. In this tutorial, I will show you how to make a simple, easy, and stylish headband. This tutorial is for beginners, so don't miss any part of the video. Hope you will enjoy the video. For this tutorial you will need wasted or leftover yarn, a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, a darning needle, and a crochet hook. First we will make a knot. You can watch 4 different ways to make a crochet knot with detail on my channel page. Now make 151 foundation chains for this project. You can watch how to make foundation chains with detail on my channel page. After making 20 chains, place a stitch marker on the 20th chain to make it easier for you to count the chain. After making 20 chains each time, mark the 20th chain. After making 140 chains, you will need to make 11 more chains and your total number of chains will be 151. You will need 7 stitch markers to count the chains. Remove all stitch markers. Pull up the loop which is on your hook. Count 40 chains. Mark the 40th chain. Mark the 40th chain from the other side as well. In this project, we will make a headband with slip stitches and treble crochet. To make a slip stitch, the loop on your hook should be loose. Skip the first chain and make a slip stitch in the second chain from your hook. You can watch a full tutorial video on slip stitch with full guidance on my YouTube channel page. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. This will make it easier to find this stitch in the next round. Always remember that the loop on your hook should be loose while making a slip stitch. It will look like this. Continue. Slip stitch in every chain until you reach the mark. When you reach the mark, remove the mark. Make a slip stitch in the chain where the marker was removed. Mark this last stitch so you can find it easily in the next round. Now make 9 chains. Skip 9 chains from the last slip stitch. This is the first chain. Count 9 chains and make a treble crochet in the 10th chain. You can watch tutorial video on treble crochet with full guidance on my YouTube channel page. Again, 9 chains. Make a treble crochet into the 10th chain. Repeat. Working up to this, our headband will look like this. Repeat this process until you reach the next mark. Make 9 chains and do a treble crochet into the 10th chain. Now we reach the marker. Make 9 chains. Remove the mark. Make a slip stitch in that chain we marked. Place a stitch marker in the first slip stitch so that it is easy to find in the next round. Make a slip stitch in every chain until the end. Remember that the loop on your hook should be loose. Make a slip stitch in the last chain. The loop should be loose. The first round of this project will look like this. Chain 1 and turn your work to the back side. It will be a bit difficult for beginners to learn how to work in slip stitch. When you rotate your work a little, you will see the stitches clearly. Skip the first chain and make a slip stitch into the first slip stitch of the previous round. Now work in the front loop only. Don't forget to mark the first stitch. Make a slip stitch in the front loop of each stitch until you reach the mark. When you reach the mark, remove it and make a slip stitch in that stitch. Now make for chains. Skip for chains and do treble crochet in the 5th chain. You can make treble in this loop, which is the back side of the chain. You can also make treble in the front loop of the chain. I am making treble in this front loop of the chain. Now make 9 chains. Count 9 chains and make a treble into the 10th chain. Again, 9 chains and do a treble into the 10th chain. In this point, your project will look like this. Repeat the process until you reach the mark. 9 chains and do treble into the 10th chain. Now make 9 chains. Do treble in the 10th chain. Now chain 4 and do slip stitch in the chain we marked. Mark the stitch. Now make the slip stitch into the front loop of the chain until you reach the end. Loop on your hook should be loose. Make a slip stitch in the front loop of each stitch until you reach the end. When you reach the end, remove marker and make a slip stitch into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work. Make a slip stitch into the first stitch. This is our last round, so there is no need to mark the first or last stitches. Do slip stitch until you reach the mark. When you reach the mark, remove it and do a slip stitch in it. Now make 9 chains and repeat round 1. Make treble in the 10th chain. Repeat this process, 9 chains and treble in the 10th chain, until you reach the second mark. Count 5 more chains after that and do treble. Finally, when you reach the marker, slip stitch into the marked chain after the 9 chain. Make a slip stitch in each stitch until the end. Make a slip stitch in the last stitch. Make a chain and pull up the loop on your hook. Cut the thread with a slight tail to sew the ends. Pull out the working yarn. Pull the yarn to secure your work. Our headband will look like this. Stretch your work to make it even and neat. Sew the ends.
Have a nice day. Thanks for watching the video. Like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.